Hi, how about we have some fun today and we do a little project and have a chat, a heart-to-heart girls chat. And the project I've picked is to do a coloring page. I have found coloring to be really helpful in reducing stress. I often will do a page before I go to bed. It will kind of calm down my mind, lower my heart rate, and it helps me sleep better. Why don't you stop the video and you get a project? It could be a coloring page, it could be crochet, it could be art, it could be you're gonna bake something or clean, just something for you to do. Or if you don't want to do anything, you could get something nice to drink and a little cozy blanket, or you could just sit there and watch me. Whatever, let's have some fun. So I like to use these markers. I have this set that I got from Amazon, and the brand is Ohuhu, O-H-U-H-U, and they are alcohol-based markers. And the reason I like them so well is because you really can't see the coloring lines. They don't tear the page like a water-based marker can do, and they go really quickly, but they do soak through. So I've learned the best thing for me to do is I have some really thick papers, and then I paper clip it. So I'm going to paper clip this stack of paper to the coloring page. Otherwise the paper can move, and then you can still get the problem of it soaking through and ruining the page underneath. And I've done that a number of times till I finally got onto this. Just clip this down here. So I got that. We're doing well. And this is the page I'm doing. It's just a little girl outside trimming her hedges with a cat in the house. So it will be just relaxing. And I thought we'd talk about something that's on my mind, and I hope it's helpful to you. Those of you that have been with me quite a while, you know more my story, and some of you have kind of come along and have known part of my story. Those of you that are new, please welcome. I'm glad you're here. And now you know a little bit of my background. And we're going to talk about it in a positive way. But I started out YouTube back in the days when I was still working a full-time job. And even though I have fibromyalgia, it was kind of under control, meaning I knew what to do when I had a flare. I'd had it since 1989. It wasn't holding me back. Like if I had a flare, I knew what to do to take care of it. I always planned in extra days on my vacations, so when I came home, I could rest and relax before I went back to work. So I just kind of knew what I was doing with it. And so I had those videos, and I was really busy in them and doing a lot of decorating and cleaning. And if you went back and watched some of those, you'd go, wow, you were really busy. And yeah, I was really busy, but I was having a lot of fun. And then I got COVID in 2022, and then I ended up with long COVID, and I was pretty sick, and it was really hard on me, and I ended up losing my job because I just couldn't go back to work, is what it was. And it was a very difficult time. It affected my brain. It made the fibromyalgia worse. And so I was just kind of in a tailspin there for a while, and I was still doing YouTube. There's some videos I put out where I talked about it when I was going through it. And I eventually deleted those videos because I felt like they're just too much of downers. And then I had shared some things that I had regretted talking about, just a bunch of things. And so I've just kind of been all over the place, basically, just all over the place. I have been starting to feel uncomfortable about talking so much about being sick. And it wasn't sharing that, hey, this is, I've had this hard time and this is what I'm doing and it's working for me. It was more of, I don't feel good, that kind of thing. It was just, I feel like it was just kind of negative and more of a downer type of situation. And when it kind of came to a head is I tried doing this very same kind of video recently, a color and chat. And when I went to edit it, I thought, oh, wow, Roseanne, listen to you complaining. I don't even want my subconscious to hear you talk like that, let alone the world. And so I decided, well, I just can't possibly publish that. And I just kind of worried about it. And what am I doing? To the point I thought, have I spun my channel off in this negative way that I can't recover? And I know that my channel was, it's been all over the place. It's been 4 years. I've been through a lot, had a lot of changes in my life, and so the channel's kind of spun with me. So I told you that I was feeling really good and was working a full-time job at first, and then I was struggling with that, and then I did a lot of hauls, and I really grew when I was doing a lot of hauls. But then I was so unhappy, and I blamed it on that. So I changed my channel. I deleted the hauls, and I named it Toward a Simple Life, which I meant I just got to calm my life down. But I was doing a lot of decluttering videos because I was going to calm my life down. And at that time, I thought, well, the way to do that is to get rid of all my stuff. And so then I started making a bunch of decluttering videos, and people came along and were enjoying that. And after a while, I realized, wow, I am just making a lot of mistakes decluttering. I'm giving away things that I really do want to keep. And then I started to feel uncomfortable about that. And then I just kind of started sloshing around in the world, basically. Fell down the stairs, hurt my head. Don't want to spend time on all of that. But what I realized is because there are a lot of you out there that also have health challenges. You appreciated it when I shared my experiences with you. I want to show you where I am so far on it. I'm not doing anything any complicated as I'm coloring here. Because the way YouTube works, you know, if you have a topic and people are really relating to it, then you get a lot of views and everything, and it becomes really, really tempting to, do I want to use that color? I don't think I do. Let me find a different color for these tulips. I like it. I always go for pinks. Anyway, it becomes really, really tempting to, well, this is working, let me do more like that. And then I started, wow, you know, I'm comfortable about the fact that I'm getting more views and a lot of subscribers when I'm talking about not feeling well. Then there, of course, there are other people who didn't like to hear me talk about that, and then they would worry about me. It was, you know, just a whole kind of confusing thing. I just really have bounced around too much, and I apologize to those of you that I've confused, because I know I have confused a lot of people. In my defense, it's because I was confused. I found that I really do enjoy making those videos where I'm doing things around the house and I add music and I talk to you guys, and sometimes I'll do voiceover, and those are nice. I enjoy making videos where I'm talking about more happy things, about what we can do to be happy in our lives. And I recently actually even did a haul again. I was questioned about that, rightfully so, because I had announced at one point I'm not doing any more hauls, and that was during my huge decluttering period. And some people really like hearing me say that because they were really into decluttering, which is completely understandable. But then I thought, I have limited myself to a point where I'm not happy. And I kept thinking about quitting over and over and over and over. I've got to quit this. I've got to stop this. I've got to stop this. And then, about a week ago, I tried doing another one of these coloring and chat videos. When I went to edit it, I realized, wow, I'm just complaining about things all the way through the video. And I've been listening to this guy, I can't even remember his name. He's not even alive anymore, but he was one who talked a lot about how we think and we talk affects our life. And it's not that kind of, if I have these thoughts, then I'm going to get a car. It's not like that. It's like it affects your state of mind, and it affects what happens to you, because people start responding back to how you're being, right? Am I making sense? Anyway, I've been listening to a lot of those videos and have realized, and it's not my nature to be that way. I wouldn't say I was that way. I was like everybody else. I suffered when things went wrong, or people were, unusually mean to me or something like that. But I don't think I was complaining all the time. Although, I don't know, maybe people in my life would say, oh, yeah, you actually were. I don't know. But maybe it's just that I'm becoming more aware of it. I'm listening more to myself. And I really want to be and intend to be a very positive person. So I made this color and chat. And I was talking to you, different topic. And I just heard myself when I was editing, and I thought, I don't want my subconscious to hear me saying this. This is not good. That's going to make it more likely that I'm not going to feel well. It's more likely that things that are not so pleasant will happen to me, because this is where my state is. And then I thought, oh, and I certainly don't want to put this out in the world. That is just not a good thing. And I'm like, I really do need to quit, because I am not adding a positive vibe to the world. Oh, this is really bad. And then I got up one morning, and so I'm a praying person, and I kept saying, Heavenly Father, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. Is it all right with you? I'm going to quit. And then I get up the next morning, and it'd be like, no, you're not. You're going to keep going. And then I'd be like, well, I'm not doing well, and I'm going to quit. No, you're not. You're going to keep going. One morning, I got up, and it was like, yeah, you're going to quit. I was so shocked by that thought, because I had been getting, no, you're going to keep going. You're going to keep going. So I started imagining what it would be like if I really did quit, and what the stressful level would be and everything. And then it came to me, no, what you're going to do is you're going to quit being such a downer. You're going to be more positive. That's what you're going to do. It hit me so hard that I initially thought that meant that I needed to dump this channel and start a new one. And I actually set it up with this new name, but then I realized I don't need to do a new channel. I just need to fix this one. But this is what I was going to name it. Instead of Towards a Simple Life, I was going to call it Towards a Joyful Life. And I was going to announce to you, oh, I'm going to start this new channel. I've spun this one off in such a nutty way that I don't know that I can fix it. And so if you're going to come over here. And then it came to me, no, you don't need to do that. You just need to change what you're doing. Just change how you're talking. Quit complaining about everything. And it's not that I won't talk about, hey, these are things we can do. And if we're having, a rough time at the moment, here are some things we can do to get through them. It's just that I'm going to do everything I can not to be complaining all the time, not to bring a negative vibe to my videos anymore. That's what I'm wanting to do. I'm not talking about, I'm not going to share and start hiding who I am and all of that. Because I'll tell you, it's like I've just gone through 2.5 weeks of real flare. I've developed, I just found this out yesterday. I've been having like really bad pain in my right eye, and then some headaches, which I've never had. I didn't think they were bad enough to be migraines or anything, but just kind of unusual. The thing that was bothering me the most was the pain in the right eye. So I went and saw my, he's a retina specialist, and he had done some surgery on my eyes. So he looked at everything. He looked at my retina. He looked at my replacement lens because I had cataract surgery to make sure the lens hadn't changed, and it hadn't. And then he said, well, you're having, what do you call them? Optimal migraines? That's not the name. Something, and I was like, migraines? He said, yeah, just take some ibuprofen, and you've got dry eye, and just use drops. And he says, I get them too, and it'll be okay. Then I looked that up, and I thought, well, I don't know if I have all those symptoms, but I've been following his advice and took some ibuprofen, and that kind of stopped one. What I do is, like I've just told you about that, but I've tried to tell you in a way that I'm not all dramatic. Oh, this is going to change my life now. It's just like more matter of fact, but I don't want it to change my attitude. You're following me, I'm sure. I just don't want it to change my attitude about things. Instead of just, okay, so let me just manage it, just like I have done with everything, and just be happy, learn about it, and know, okay, I can still see everything's okay. It's not a big deal. It's okay. It's okay. So when I talk to you guys and talk on this channel, I just want to do it in a more positive way, not a downer way, because sometimes things will kind of trouble me, and it's not you, it is me, where someone will say, oh, it's so good to see you happy, and then I'll think, well, I've obviously been acting unhappy. That someone would be so happy to see me happy. So I apologize to you for that. And I am going to do my best from now on to act as if my channel name was Towards a Joyful Life. So that's my goal. Even though I might be sharing a challenge that I'm facing with you, I don't want to do it in a complaining way. What I want to do is to be more helpful. Let me change this around here so you can actually watch me color. Okay, there. As you can see, I'm not being real fancy with this whole thing. So this one has got kind of smaller lines than some I've done, so it's a little trickier to do. It's not hard, but I'm just a little messier with it because you see all these little wavy lines. I wouldn't call myself a great artist, but this is just kind of relaxing. So this guy that I've been listening to, I listen to one of those videos every day. I will link this channel down in the description, so if you're wanting to check it out. It doesn't have tons of videos on it. It's not a real old channel, but it's kind of based on that thought as there's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And so if you're thinking all the time about, oh, everything's going to go wrong, you know, people aren't going to like me. If you're focused, it's like on this channel, if I'm focusing all the time about how many views a video gets and how many comments and Am I getting nice comments, or people don't seem to like it? And what does that mean? And the focus is on that. Then it's kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you start reacting as if and acting as if maybe you're failing. And instead of just like, okay, well, what would it feel like if I was doing well? And I've had times where I was doing really well on the channel, getting lots of views. So I know what that feels like. And I actually didn't take it as seriously as you would think. I didn't take it as, oh, look at me, I'm just like being so successful here. It was just like, oh, how interesting that people like this video. So I didn't put a lot of weight on that as to what it meant to me, but I put too much weight on when videos didn't get as many views, as if, okay, I'm being rejected now. And I think we do that all over the place. It's really easy for us to do that. It's like when you're not feeling good, and if you're thinking about it all the time, and you're constantly looking for every little, oh, this is bothering me today, and put so much weight on it, and then before you know it, you're assigning yourself this role of, I always feel unwell. And then sometimes we actually start to act as if that's true. We talk about it as if it's true. It's like if someone asks you, how are you feeling today? And you say, oh, I'm feeling great. Then sometimes they'll be like, oh, you're all better. And we know we're not going to be all better because maybe we have something that's chronic. And so then it becomes really tempting to say, oh, well, today's a good day. Or it's like we don't want to have them think that we're always going to feel well, and so we don't want to admit that we're having a well day. I know that sounds really kind of nuts, but that's the kind of thing that will happen. It's like you become worried about saying, I'm feeling good today. But it's just that when people might really act that way, it's just they're relieved for you. They're just relieved for you. Oh, well, maybe everything's going to be okay. And so there's just this real danger of what can happen in your brain and with your speech. And I didn't do that until, I would say, after the long COVID. The long COVID kind of really got me in that habit, and it's because I was really feeling terrible for so long, consistently, all the time. And then it found its way into talking about it on my channel, and I've heard so much saying, oh, well, I have fibromyalgia, and so, I'm not feeling good, and blah, 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 just so you know. And here I am talking about it again, but it's in a different way. I hope you can recognize that. So this guy talks about, if you're thinking that or feeling that or afraid of that, and it's in your mind all the time, then sometimes that can actually become your state. But if you do the opposite and you, okay, well, that's a bright fluorescent color, isn't it? If you are acting or talking about things as if they are already true, it's like, okay, I already feel good, right? It's like I'm looking for my favorite color blue here for this guy. Here it is. It's frost blue. That's the one I like for this guy. I like to color these big things in first, sometimes before I do the details. And it's a kind of a satisfying thing to see a great big piece, where if you're just doing these little small pieces, and then if you drop it, you feel like, I haven't done hardly anything. Anyway, that's just a quirk with me in coloring. So where was I? Oh, I know it. It was that He said to try to develop the feeling like this is already true, not like you want it to be true in the future, because then you're in your mind, you're trying to figure out how you're going to get there in the future, but instead to think, how would I feel if this is already true? So, like before you go to bed and first thing in the morning, you imagine how you would be feeling right now if it was already true. Like, how would I be feeling right now if I didn't have to worry about how my videos were doing? It was like, I already knew everything's great. You know, everything's great on my channel. It's nothing to worry about. And I'm having a really good time. People are responding to the videos because I'm making positive things and they're enjoying themselves. And I didn't have to worry about getting it wrong and, you know, upsetting people. And it's just like, just kind of this quiet assumption, everything's fine. Everything's fine. So to imagine what it's like if that was already true. Well, I have a basis of understanding that. I'm kind of running out of this one. I wish I could buy just one more of these. I'll have to look and see if they sell them individually. I put this on the sky so much. But if I just imagined that was already true, that was my state. Or if I imagined, well, I already am taking good care of my health. And, you know, I have not been eating well. I haven't been doing the walking like I should. And it's really good for you if you've got fibromyalgia to do even short walks, even when you don't feel about it. And it's different with chronic fatigue where that's not the best thing for you. But if you've got fibromyalgia, they say it will help you feel better even if you just take short walks consistently. So let's say I'm already doing that. It's not like, how am I going to plan to get myself, how am I going to make myself do that? It's more like, I'm already doing that. How do I feel about it? You know, just this natural assumption is already there. What are my feelings like? Because if you can get your feelings to go along with it and just this quiet, you know, just this quiet feeling of, yeah, this is just the way it is. This is how I am. Then things will start to happen. You'll start to do the kinds of things that will get you there. You know, things will happen. People come in your life. You'll read things. You'll find the right answers. And it will just kind of naturally happen without you having to force it there. I am not spending a lot of time on picking these colors out for this video. So how are you coming on your project? What kind of project are you doing? Or are you just watching? Are you with me? And I'd love to know what you think about this. I hope you're accepting my apology. I'm just gonna let's make this easy. And I'll just color them all the same. I thought about changing my channel name again, but I think, no, Towards a Simple Life is a good thing. And if I'm living a simple life, then it is kind of more naturally joyful life. For the future on my videos, you're just going to see all different kinds of things. Sometimes we'll talk about things we can do to be happy. We'll do kind of normal things, fun things around the house. We'll maybe go thrift shopping. I did that haul because, you see, it's just like part of a fun part of my life. And I thought, well, I'm just going to share that with my friends. And I know it surprised some of you that I had done that, because I had, you know, I'd stated I'm not going to do hauls anymore. But as I said, that was at a difficult point in my life, and I really thought that was the thing I needed to do. Let's paint her pants blue. How about that? We're saying she's wearing jean overalls. I'd love to wear overalls. You watch my channel, at any point in time, you're going to see me in overalls. It's funny, I didn't wear them for years and years, but I had some brown ones when I was in college, and I just loved them, and then I kind of gave them up, and then I don't know what happened. I kind of fell back into wearing them the last couple of years, and I've really enjoyed them. even though I don't think I probably look the best in them. I like them. And I like this color of teal. We'll put her on that shirt. Now, if some artistic types, they would do all kinds of fancy things with this. And then let's have her hat match up here. Why are we always in such a hurry? Have you ever noticed that? I just have a little bit here left to do, not much. Here, I'm not even being careful. That's okay. It's okay. Well, let's see what this color is. Oh, that is not right. Let's look at this one. There's so many that just seem to be the same to me today. What is this one? Oh, that's not right. Let's just do this. And not even worry about it at all. I was trying to come up with that color of a clay pot there for a minute. It was too much work. So if this house, if I wanted to have a house today, I had a yellow house once and we really liked it. So I'm going to do this yellow. I'm going to make this house have blue on it. I never know what to do about the skin tones. Well, let's just say that because we're pretending she's me out working in my garden. So here's my page. And I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you again. Bye.